And good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, May the 1st here. It's Big Dave Show and Tell. And, well, we're not going to really be showing and telling much on our end this morning because we've got our friends once again from the Cincinnati Zoo. There's Erin. Say hi, Erin.
Hi, guys.
And our girl, Angela, a.k.a. Supermodel, running the camera. Say hi, Angie.
Hey.
I don't think I've ever called you know what? I don't think I've ever called you Angie before or anything like that. That's weird.
That's weird.
I call her Supermodel because she's gorgeous and we love her. So Zoo Baby starts today, Erin, and you guys tell us where you are right now.
So we're at the Wallaby barn, and this is my coworker Colleen, and our other coworker Ava the Wallaby. Now Ava has Joey in her pouch.
She actually has a Zoo Baby in her pouch right now.
Yes, who we've actually not been able to see out of the pouch yet. We were kind of hoping she would make the big debut today for you guys, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh, and that's Ava right there.
This is Ava, yeah. She's the newest addition to our Wallaby herd. And we're going to offer her some romaine lettuce, which is one of her favorites. And as she stands up, hopefully you guys will be able to see that big, heavy pouch she's holding.
Oh, my.
And when she starts doing some somersaults in there, you'll be able to see it moving around a little bit.
So it almost looks like she's pregnant, but there's an actual live Wallaby baby inside that pouch right now.
Yeah, so Wallabies are marsupials, just like koalas, kangaroos, and opossums. And so they're all characterized by having a really short pregnancy, which always sounds really nice to any of the moms that I talk to. They're pregnant for like 20 days. The baby comes out the size of a bumblebee and climbs up into the pouch and finishes growing in the pouch.
Oh, my.
Oh. And how long is that?
That can be, we're probably at 125 days right now, somewhere's around there. So we're hoping that the baby will emerge from the pouch anytime now, and it'll still ride around with mom sometimes. Once it's out and about. It's still growing fur and fully developing. He's being real quiet right now in there, but I'm hoping he'll do some somersaults for you at some point.
So Ava, that's Ava, the mom right there. Erin, you're the zookeeper for the Wallabies there at the Cincinnati Zoo. You guys haven't seen this baby yet. We
got one peek. We did just an exam with the vets at the vet hospital just to make sure everything was good and healthy. And we were able to peek inside the pouch and get a look at the baby as it was still developing. And that's the only time we've seen part of this.
That's amazing.
So we are eagerly anticipating this baby making its debut.
Do they ever have twins?
They rarely have twins, but they are able to actually feed multiple babies at the same time at different ages. So she could have gotten pregnant and be holding a fetus at the same time as she has a baby in the pouch. And this is Dawn, who clearly wants some attention.
Oh, well, we're ready to give Dawn the Wallaby all the attention he needs. This is amazing. Look at that guy.
Oh, my goodness. So cute.
Erin, besides being marsupials, of course, it just looks like we're looking at a miniature kangaroo when we look at a wallaby. Can you just describe the difference? I think a lot of people would want to know what the difference is between a wallaby and a kangaroo.
Sure. They're actually very closely related. There's over 50 species of wallabies and kangaroos and wallaroos out there in Australia. And these guys are mainly characterized differently from kangaroos because of a couple of things. Kangaroos tend to be a lot bigger. Our wallabies, as you can see, are pretty tiny. These guys are full size. Ava's actually still growing, so she's going to get a little bit bigger. There you go. You can hang on to it. There you go. And they also have some differences between their hip structure. So kangaroos have to move both their hips at the same time, so they can only hop. Wallabies have the ability to do a little bit of walking, although they much prefer to hop around, just like that typical kind of kangaroo wallaby movement that you're used to seeing in cartoons and stuff.
Sure. Who's that one going back behind you there?
So back there is Dawn, and then this here is Tom. And we
Tom.
also have another one, Adams, who is right behind Ava. And he's actually a different species wallaby. He's very small compared to the other boys and Ava, and he's known as a Parma wallaby. So he is actually full grown. We like to say that he's actually a real grumpy old man. And definitely got little dog syndrome. So
Oh
he's
my gosh.
smaller than the other guys.
And this is Ava coming up to the camera right now?
This is Ava. She's the most beautiful wallaby we've ever seen.
Aww.
Oh, she says, "Oh, you embarrassed me." And if you just tuned in, we're hoping that Ava will show us a peek inside her pouch because there is a zoo baby in there, a baby wallaby that is still growing in her pouch that the zoo has only seen a glimpse of once. And they're kind of hoping to see if we could see a little something this morning. Did anybody else have a question they wanted to ask Aaron and the folks at the Cincinnati Zoo this morning?
I have a question. Does the baby, you might have already said this, does the baby have a name yet? Do you know the sex of the baby?
We do not know the sex of the baby yet, and we're probably not going to be able to find that out for quite a while, and we have not named this baby yet. We're just hoping to see a face at some point.
Sure. And do wallabies do gender reveal parties?
I mean, it's not out of the question.
Might be something fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody else have a question for the zoo this morning there?
What other animals do
Look
these
at
two
Stat's
guys like to
outfit.
interact with?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Stat. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Ashley is rude and interrupted you there.
Can you show me their bottom feet? Don't they have like some really weird claw things going on, like velociraptor feet?
They do. We can actually walk over and see if the boys will sit still long enough. I'll bring some bribes. They have very long back feet. These guys are known collectively as macropods, which is Latin for big old feet.
Macropod.
And they have very long claws, including on the inside of this toe here. It's hard to see, but they have a double claw. And they use that for cleaning themselves. Just grooming.
Do they have a
themselves.
white claw?
They do not have a white claw.
No, but chances are Ashley has one right there right now.
Yes. Guilty.
What about using their hands? They look like they can really use their hands. Like I'm watching them hold the lettuce.
They don't have thumbs like we do, but they absolutely do use those hands for grasping. In the wild, they'll eat some grass, but a lot of like bushes and trees. They'll pull down leaves and branches. They are herbivores, so they really only eat plants. And just like a cow, they actually chew cud and have a multi-chamber stomach. So
Me too.
Yeah. If you're lucky, you'll see one of them cough up a little bit of cud later on. We're getting all of these great treats right now.
This is wonderful. We got the Cincinnati Zoo with us here is Erin, and she's a zookeeper with the Wallabies there at the Cincinnati Zoo. And of course, we want to talk a little bit while we just continue to watch the Wallabies there, Erin, about things going on at the Cincinnati Zoo right now. We know that, you guys aren't open, obviously, and there's no date as to when you can open, but you still have a lot of animals to take care of there. And you're offering so many wonderful things right now that people can do to help you guys raise money because it costs a lot to feed all these animals every day. You just launched something called Cincinnati Zoo with an M, Zoom calls. I'm trying to do it justice there. What does that entail, and how can people get a Cincinnati Zoom call?
Yeah, so first of all, we miss our visitors so much, not just because they help keep the doors open and pay for all of our wonderful animal food, but just in general, we miss seeing their smiling faces every day. This is normally peak like school trip season, and it's very strange being at the zoo while it's empty. So we thought it would be a great idea to not only do our home safari visits, which is open to everybody, we do them at 3 p.m. every day, but we wanted to give people the opportunity to kind of get a closer look and a more sort of customizable opportunity to meet some of the animals in our animal family. So our Zoom calls are on the website. We just launched them. And you can schedule them for any time. And basically the way it works is you'll set up a time with us, send a invitation to whatever social meeting platform that you use. It's not just for Zoom. You can use anything that, any of the major ones. And at that time, you'll get to meet one of our animals. And if you're into that as well, some of our zookeepers as well. And it'll go something like this. The Wallabies are an option. They're actually in our mystery caller package, which comprises of either our Wallabies, our Tamanduas, or Lucille, our baby bear cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet she's probably very popular right now here in Cincinnati, of course.
She is. She is the ambassador to the University of Cincinnati Bearcats, and she was just starting to get to go to games before we kind of had to shut everything down. But she's still here and growing, and she's really cute. Unfortunately, she's only between the Tamanduas, the Wallabies, and Lucille, they're not always camera ready. So we left it as a mystery option. So if you sign up for that, you're not entirely sure who you're going to get. But I promise there'll be someone cute.
Someone very cute.
Aww.
And there's so many other options you guys have at the Cincinnati Zoo right now, because you gotta make money. You're missing the admission prices and the parking and the concessions and everything. And it costs a lot, obviously, to feed all of the animals you have at the Cincinnati Zoo. We discussed that last week when we had Fiona on for the show and tell. And you can see that whole episode on our B105 YouTube channel, B105 Cincinnati there. But just go to cincinnatizoo.org. You guys have so many wonderful options there for people, membership renewal and things of that nature. And I know I'd seen one of the comments on Facebook come in saying that they just renewed their membership and they can't wait to hopefully see some of the zoo babies, which started up today.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to support the zoo, and we're here and ready and trying to figure out how to be creative as possible about it. If you guys take a good close look at the our left side of Ava's pouch there, you can see the baby moving around a little bit.
Oh,
she gone.
Yeah.
Come back.
She is just like whenever I tell my kids to look up at something on TV, it immediately leaves.
Gone.
It's gone. This is tremendous. I see that you have a couple of zoo babies named Theo and Finn. One's 5 months and one's 10 months, but it doesn't say in my email what kind of zoo baby they are.
So Theo and Finn are baby giraffes, which are also available for the Cincinnati Zoom calls. The giraffes are an option, as is everybody's favorite baby, who's not really a baby anymore, Fiona the Hippo. Also available for that, as well as my personal favorite animal, Rico the porcupine.
Rico.
Yeah, Rico Suave is his full name.
You know, I watched, because you had mentioned this, you guys do a wonderful home zoofari every afternoon at 3 o'clock on your Cincinnati Zoo Facebook page. And I believe, I think the second one you did, the first one was Fiona. And then the second one, I believe, was Rico the porcupine, because I was at the orthodontist office with my daughter, and she was getting her orthodontia fixed up there. And I was watching it, and it was amazing watching that porcupine there.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And the home safaris, like I said, every day at 3 o'clock, and they also have a donate button on those on Facebook Live, so you can donate that way to the zoo if you like to as well. We have an emergency fund set up for while we're getting through all this COVID stuff. So there's lots of ways for our fantastic, wonderful zoo community to help us out in these difficult times.
Aaron, when you were, that is Tom right there.
This is Tom, yeah.
Yeah, Tom. Look at that. I got that right.
Good job, Dave.
You were just petting him,
Yeah.
and I was curious to know, when he was up very close like that, he looks very soft. Is he soft, or is that hair coarse?
No, they're actually very soft. Their hair is fairly short, but they're very soft and fuzzy. Not quite chinchilla, but almost like a bunny rabbit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these guys are, Don and Tom were hand raised here at the zoo. They've been around people their entire life. And so they're very used to being around us, which is sort of why we're able to kind of pet them and snuggle them a little bit. Ava was raised in a big group of wallabies at another zoo, so she's gonna take a little bit longer to warm up to us.
Yeah. But this is wonderful. Well, we can't thank you guys enough at the Cincinnati Zoo for coming on with us again. It's a treat for us as well as our viewers and listeners here today on Big Dave Show and Tell to see the zoo babies. And you know, I know we didn't get to see Ava's baby, but maybe moving a little bit. But you guys haven't either, so we don't feel so bad.
It's true. And I promise the minute we get any footage of it, everyone's going to know. And we'll post everywhere we can.
Well, you guys do a wonderful job. Does anybody have any last questions here for our zoo? I didn't really check our Facebook questions this morning, so we should pull a few of those up and see if anybody has. Yeah. I know one wanted to know how long did they live?
Sure. So all of our adult males here, Don, Tom, and Adams, are in their low teens, but these guys can live into the upper teens in human care, getting excellent care provided for them, like at the Cincinnati Zoo. And then Ava's only about 14 months old, so she's actually less than, she's like a year and a half almost. So she's still got a long life ahead of her. And these boys are all a little bit older than her.
Sure. So if you have any questions while we have them on for a few more minutes, you'll feel free to ask in the comment section there. And we'll take it as Ashley Statter. Chelsea, do you have any questions you'd like answered with Aaron and the Wallabies here at the Cincinnati Zoo? Yeah. Go ahead, Stat.
All right. So I see you're wearing your mask, and this past week we heard about a dog catching coronavirus. Are you guys doing a lot of precautions so none of the animals get it? Because there's not much known about it. And what do you know about it?
Yeah, we one of the big things that we're always very concerned about at the zoo is the safety of our animals as well as the safety of the people who come into contact with them. And to that end, we've definitely been following all of that news really closely. We wear masks and are very careful around all of our mammals, especially right now, but we're actually also wearing masks whenever we're near other humans. And we're disinfecting as often as we can to make sure that all of the surfaces we come into contact with are really safe. So we're definitely taking lots of precautions to make sure our animals are safe as well as the people around. It's definitely one of our top priorities.
Okay. It's actually a question coming in from Ashley's dad. Mitch wants to know, is a baby wallaby called a joey, like a baby kangaroo?
That's exactly right. Yes, they're also called joeys. I don't know when we come around to naming time if we're going to try to play with that or not. But I'm sure there's lots of great baby name options out there.
And also,
there's a little known fact. If it was a twin, it would be called a Joey and a Jesse. Just like the Tack family. Yeah, Joey and Jesse Tack, the twins.
I didn't even.
Wow, we all believed in like
yeah, for a second. Holly would like to know, Aaron, who's the daddy? Who is the baby that's in Ava's pouch's father there?
Yeah, so our three males here, Don, Tom, and Adams, are actually unable to breed. They have been fixed. So Ava came to us with the Joey in the pouch. So it was one of the boys from her last mob, which is what a group of wallabies are called.
A mob? That's cool.
Yeah, thankfully they're not super. They live in groups, but it's really loose social groups, so it's not like they were super bonded. And Ava has fit right into this new mob perfectly well. The boys all love her. She seems to like them. So she seems not to miss the old guy too much.
Yeah. Aww. Kelly says, thanks for having the zoo on your show and tell today. You're welcome, Kelly. We love having our friends from the zoo on and doing anything we can to help them out because they need our help during this time, that's for sure. Chelsea, did you say you had another question you wanted to ask?
No, I was going to ask about, I went online and you still have face masks you're selling that will help out the zoo too. So you guys are still doing that too, right?
That is true. Yeah, we have face masks. I'm not sure which patterns are still available, but we had a whole bunch of different animal-themed patterns available for people if they wanted to help support us that way.
I don't know if we answered this earlier. Someone asked about the difference between a kangaroo and a wallaby on there, and we did address that earlier, so you can go back and see that towards the first of the video. But Brandon wants to know, how old are they?
Sure. So these two boys that we've got focused on right now are in their early teens. I think they're 12. And Adams, who's our smallest, little male is, 14. And then
wow.
Ava, our female, is about 15 months.
And you
Okay.
said they all get along pretty well. And like kangaroos, I've seen them almost like box. If they don't get along, do they kind of do something similar to that?
Yeah, they're not really boxers. They're definitely lovers, not fighters.
Good, good.
Our dog specifically, you can actually see Don's ears are a little bald. He's always had a little hair loss up there, but sometimes the other boys groom him too much because they love him so much. And
well, I tell you, Don, I feel your pain, buddy. You know, little hair loss up there. They were wanting to see. Once again, Ava, they were asking for the baby. And here's a great question for Shelly about the Wallabies in general that I'll bring up here for you. She wants to know, are they located in the children's area?
At the zoo. So
Yeah.
the Wallaby barn is actually located, I'm just going to throw a bunch of treats right out, and we'll see if Ava comes over. The Wallaby goat yard, there's 2 windows right in the back of the yard that look into the Wallaby barn. Other than that, these guys don't have an exhibit that's visible for all of our visitors. However, these guys are all ambassador animals. So we do bring them out for visitors to meet. So Adam's here, who's sort of in the front, chewing on some bamboo shoot there, is actually harness and leash trained. So we take him for walks around.
Cool.
Hopefully one day, if Ava would be okay with it, we'd love to be able to take her out for a walk as well.
So for those of you that have tuned in and are wondering, that's Ava back closest to the fence. And she's got a baby wallaby in her pouch that the zoo has not seen other than just a glimpse of yet. And from what you told us earlier, Aaron, the wallaby is still growing in the pouch, even though it's been birthed already. It's still kind of growing in there.
Basically, it's getting all the milk it needs from the pouch. It's all set up to eat and grow and continue developing. When it was first born, the only part of it that was developed was the front feet, just enough so it could kind of claw its way up into the pouch. And since then, it's grown. It's got all of its parts now, and it just needed to grow some fur and get its eyes open. So we're hoping that it emerges any day now. We're right around on track to emerge sometime, hopefully this week, maybe next week. If we walk away, she's going to let it out. But
Of course. Yes.
I like it. It's the cutest thing. And we'll bring Stat and everybody back up here. So I found that interesting what you were just saying there, Aaron, that the baby
is born a little south of the pouch and climbs up into it. It's the first thing it has to do in this there. So it's kind of a rough birth. By comparison, humans are much easier to ride for the baby, at least. We take care of everything for those babies.
Yeah.
You might have already said this, but how big going into the pouch?
They're teeny tiny.
Wow.
And that was about 30 days after conception. So just about a month old, which was a couple months ago now. So baby, as you can kind of see, if you look back through our footage from today, you can see that pouch hangs really low, that baby.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Well, CincinnatiZoo.org is where you go. You can do the cameos. This is absolutely one of the top zoos in the country. We should at Cincinnati Zoo, and we really appreciate as they're munching down there. Anything you want to add before we let you guys go, Aaron?
I think we covered everything. We definitely, I'll say it again, we miss our visitors, and we're so happy and excited to open back up whenever we do.
Love it. Ask about their tails. It's obviously a very muscular tail like most marsupials have. Is that, can they use it like the kangaroo does to lean back on and kind of not have anything supporting them but the tail?
They can lean back on the tail. Their feet tend to stay on the ground. Their back feet tend to stay on the ground, but they mostly use that tail to balance and keep their direction straight.
And what are they eating right now?
They're not good height jumpers, but they can clear a pretty, I'd say like 5 feet or so.
Okay.
Wow.
Pop off speed wise at around 9 miles an hour, which is pretty impressive.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, probably faster than I can run.
Are they eating bamboo right now?
Yeah, this is young bamboo. It's bamboo shoots that our horticulture team has been, which are still well maintained. You guys might have seen some of our tulip blooms a couple weeks back, but they've still been maintaining all of the gardens. And so they were clearing out some bamboo, and bamboo shoots are really tender and they're a great treat for some of our animals. So everyone got some today.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Aaron and Angela and everybody there at the Cincinnati Zoo, we want to thank you guys for getting us up close and personal with the Wallabies today. It's wonderful. And you guys, hopefully we're all streaming through the zoo here soon and checking out the zoo babies in person. I know you guys already missed, zoo blooms, and that's one of your big things every year. And now the zoo babies, and hopefully you'll get the visitors to them, the Best You Facebook page. Do you know which animal you're going to have there today?
I do. Yeah, I'm not positive, but you guys can check the website.
Okay, it'll be a surprise.
It'll be a fun surprise for you guys.
Yeah.
We
well,
love
guys,
surprises.
thank you so much. We love our zoo. Thank you for being on Big Dave Show and Tell today. And I hope everybody enjoyed watching this. And please share this on your Facebook page and get as many people as you can to just see this and get to enjoy our zoo. And the more people that watch it, the more people that might donate and help them stay afloat during this tough time. Aaron, Angela, and to all the Wallabies, thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Bye.
And real quick, I'm just going to give a shout out real fast before we go. I wore
let's
this
do it.
today to the Flying Pig.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
supposed to go see in our Pork in the Road team. I have to wait till October to do it, but I
We're
wore
out
the
of the
shirt
road.
just to there. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. We love you. Thanks for listening to B105.